this season was just a really big breakout for you in terms of your play on both sides of the ice. What has it been like for you to, take on more of a leadership position and just really grow into your game?
Yeah, obviously, kind of the leadership side I think kind of grew towards the end of the year, and just kind of to be in some meetings and kind of take that next step on that side of the team and the game is nice. So I just kind of think starting the year where I was and kind of to finish where I'm at and different things like that. I'm really proud and happy of the season I had, and just kind of really excited with this group, and you can kind of see it throughout the year kind of what we can do. So just really excited and obviously really thankful for the opportunity that I was given this year.
With Bobby and Tyson, what really clicked for you guys on that line?
I think just a lot of parts of our game really complemented each other. I think Bobby's got such an elite offensive mind, and Tyson's got a big frame. Obviously his shot, his stick defensively. So a lot of factors kind of went into helping each other out, and just kind of playing hard for each other I think was the biggest thing. We we're always talking and just playing hard for each other and wanting the best for each other. So can't say enough good things about those guys, and just kind of the things that they provided for our line that maybe I lacked, and maybe things that I helped them with. So I think just complimenting each other was big, but playing hard for each other is something you can't replicate. So I think that was kind of the biggest thing we did for this year.
What do you think the biggest change in your game was this year?
I think confidence. Just finding that confidence, finding a line, finding chemistry, and kind of like I said, I was confident in the part that I brought to our line, and confident in those guys every night that they would bring that offensive spark, and whatever it was defensively they'd help me out. So confidence just kind of with the pieces that we had on our line, and that we'd push and that we'd play hard for each other every night.
No, you just mentioned about stepping into a leadership role. We just talked to Sean Terry. He mentioned that as well, that you had done that in meetings and whatnot. Why did you feel like this was, I guess, the right time for you to take more of an assertive role in terms of leadership? I
think I had that confidence, in my game, and just care, just really want the best for this organization, and I think saying different things or trying to help the team in that way, and pushing guys. It's such a long year and so mentally fatiguing and different things like that. So I think I bring a good focus, a good energy to the rink every day, and just trying to keep guys in line with that focus, and that their energy matters, that their role in the team matters. So I think energy is such an important thing for a hockey team, and just with how long the season is, just kind of getting guys engaged and having fun is the biggest thing that can help a team, and help a lineup stay with it, whether it's going good or going bad, to play the right way and help win games.
You obviously need a new contract. Is that process started? How do you expect that to go? Yes.
Yeah, it started a little bit during the season, then, or kind of middle end of the season. Started a little bit, then talks kind of slowed down a little bit. So not worried about anything. Obviously very exciting that they're talking about it, that that process is going, and after a good season, it's it feels really good going into the summer. I'm very excited for my future and the future of this team. So just really happy to be here, and kind of in the circumstances that I'm in, with it being a contract year and where we're at. I'm feeling very fortunate.
Would you prefer it be a longer term deal if possible?
Yeah, definitely.
What's kind of the next step for you in your game?
I think just the consistency, keep building. I think being a good player on a good team or a good player on a bad team, there's a big difference there. So just want to be a good player on a playoff team, help a team get there. It might be maybe taking a little bit less of a role or whatever it might be, just to help the team get to where you want to be. So I've realized that I've played on teams that have been there, and kind of the maybe ego shifts or the kind of different responsibilities or opportunities that you might get when a team is clicking, and you got guys that are in their roles and doing the best or in the best positions that they're used for to help the team. So I think that's kind of the biggest thing with that.
You've been asked this question before, but how much did being forced to sit out the opening night fuel the fire for the rest of the season?
Yeah, obviously never been in that position before, so definitely humbling. But I think I kept a really good focus, and that I'd get my chance. It's obviously an 82 game season. It's a long season. I'd get my chance, and when I got it, I knew that I was gonna take it and run with it. So I think that's kind of what I did. Obviously, maybe a little bit of a slow start to the season, just lacking a little confidence, whether it was from that or just kind of starting the season off a little slow. But I think once I found my game and found our line, found our chemistry, whatever it may be, I used that and took that fuel. And there's some hard days and hard games during the season, but if you can just kind of get that little extra, I was out at the beginning of the year. There's tough times. Like I'd rather be playing it in the lineup. Kind of just gives you a little extra spark, a little extra jump to play a little harder.
Do you view yourself as an NHL center? Now, obviously, you've bounced from wing to center throughout your NHL career, but this year you almost exclusively played down the middle.
Yeah, I think just playing there this year, the whole year. It would definitely feel weird to play wing. I think in a couple games I could get there. Sometimes with the face-offs and some struggles there, I want to be on the wing sometimes at the draws, but it's just one of those things where I'm learning, trying to get better, trying to help my line get possession and start with the puck. So definitely some nights when the draws are struggling a little bit, it feels like I'd rather be on the wing, but I think kind of me down low and defensively, centers the best option for me, and keeps me involved, keeps me skating. So definitely would be weird to go back to wing, but I think I could do it. Obviously, I just want to be able to play anywhere. I want to be an NHL player. That's kind of the biggest thing.
Do you see yourself as I know there's a lot of talk about you being like Couturier Jr. and whatnot, and your line did shut down some of the other top lines in the NHL. Do you see yourself kind of going into that mold of more of a defensive center?
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, I think for that line and the different pieces we brought, I think for me, the defense part was big to maybe help Bobby and Tyson. Obviously, they helped me out a lot in that side of the puck too, but whether it freed them up a little bit to make more plays or play a little more offensively. And obviously with their offensive play, they dragged me into that area of the game as well. So but I think overall my focus, my mindset's on that side, and then the offense comes where maybe for some guys, if they're playing offensively, then the defense comes a little bit. But for me, that's my process. That's how I focus on the game, see the game, and just try to prepare for the games and whatnot, kind of with that attitude in mind.
A lot of teammates have commented on how you kind of keep things on an even keel. Like your focus stays the same, whether it's going great or not going so great for you and for the team. Is that an area in terms of your approach where you feel like you can be a leader by example?
Definitely. Yep. Yeah, like for the leadership, I think it might not be as vocal. Try to bring energy and talk a little bit, but just playing the right way, playing the same way. Every night. It's obviously not going to work every night over an 82 game season, but if you're consistent and you play the right way, I think more times than not you're going to get the result that you want. And I think that's the biggest thing that I think I can provide from that aspect. Obviously, Coots is great at it too. But if there's more guys doing that, more guys kind of in the fight doing those things, I think it helps the team a lot consistently over the course of a season.
You won a lot in college, and obviously here it's been more of a rebuild. What do you think about what's happening here in Philadelphia that will eventually lead to more wins and playoff success?
Culture, for sure. In college, just the culture that we had at UMD was so elite, so high end, and I think we're kind of seeing that here. It's getting built. I think a lot of NHL teams have a lot of turnover, and you saw some trust kind of in some younger pieces and kind of the core here, I would say. So I think just kind of the culture that we're building and kind of the leadership that's around, and obviously some good young pieces and prospects, whatever it might be, kind of coming around. But just the culture that this is an organization that'll do whatever it takes to win. Obviously off the ice, maybe you guys don't see it, but there's a lot of great things that are provided for us to they're all in for our health, whatever it might be, to be the best players that we can be, to perform at the highest level that we can to help us win. So I think that's kind of anything you can ask for as a player, is kind of the team willing to do whatever it takes to help you feel your best and help you win. So the culture here is great, and it's obviously a place I want to be a long time.
Thanks, Noah.
Thanks, guys.
So,